Hello, everybody, and welcome to Starry Tarot. Thank you so much for being here. If you are new, welcome to the Chan, and thank you so much for your subscription. If you are returning, welcome back. Good to see you, my friend. I hope you are doing wonderfully today. My name is Sophie, for those of you who don't know. I am your friendly tarot reader. I can answer any question that you have, with the exception of medical and legal questions. And we have just received, we have just received our first donation. Thank you so much, Miss Wendy, for your donation, love. It's going great. Thank you for asking. It's going so far so good. I have a pretty busy week ahead of me. I don't know about you, but in terms of like work, but that's good. It's good staying busy and focused. You know what I mean? How is your week so far, love? It is. Today was a great day at work, actually. I spoke to two of the instructors and about the issue that I still haven't tackled, and they were more than helpful. One of them I know very well. One of them I've just met like last week. I've never modeled for her before, but both of them are amazing. And they were talking about the old days at the school when like certain instructors were problematic. And I was wondering what they were meaning by that. And then they were like, yeah, like and I didn't get involved in they were like talking among themselves. And then they were like, yeah, and they were really mean to their students too. And I was like, that's what I was going to input, like interject and ask. Like, were these people like mean to their students? Like, oh, they were the worst. I'm like, yeah, speaking of that, and I just told them everything. And we just had like we all like sat down and just started. It was just the three of us. No one else was in the workshop. And they were so sweet and so kind and so helpful. Like I'll get tearful if I talk about how helpful they were, but like, yeah, down to like finding the right person for me at HR, like, and just like super supportive. Like, yeah. You're getting over a cold. Oh no. It was so nice, hun. It brought me to tears afterwards when I was having my dinner and I was just reflecting on everything, all they did for me, and all the kind words, and they were just like, they actually don't know who the instructor is, but they were like, they're like, all the students give like anonymous reviews at the end of their class, so I would be really surprised if he didn't have bad reviews from his students at the very least. I'm like, huh, that's interesting. I mean, yeah, students, give their anonymous reviews. I remember I did that in school. So who knows? Who knows? We shall see. We shall see what will happen here. But it's just a bummer overall. So Miss Wendy, what's on your mind here? I hope karma gets him, because yeah, as we all said, like, he may be going through things in his life, but you don't bring that into work. We're all going through things, you know what I mean? And like I said, I even said to them, like, I don't want to get him fired, and I don't think I have that like power. They're like, you'd be more surprised than you think. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, really, all I want is for him to get help. Like, but he may be too far gone at this point. How do I open myself up to receiving more blessings from the universe? What a wonderful question, Wendy. I think that's a great question. And today we are using one of my oldest decks, the modern, well, at least for my channel, the Modern Witch deck. A great deck. Angels, Messengers, and Spirit Guides. How can Wendy open herself up to receiving more blessings from the universe? Angels, Messengers, and Spirit Guides. How can Wendy open herself up to accepting more blessings from the universe? Angels, Messengers, and Spirit Guides. How can Wendy open herself up to accepting more blessings from the universe? Angels, Messengers, and Spirit Guides. How can Wendy open up to accepting more blessings from the universe? Angels, Messengers, and Spirit Guides. How can Wendy open up to accepting more blessings from the universe? Masters and Spirit Guides, how can Wendy open up to accepting more blessings from the universe? Thanks, Masters and Spirit. How can Wendy up more to receive more blessings from the universe? Thanks, Masters and Spirit Guides. How can Wendy open up more to accept more blessings from the universe? Thanks, Masters and Spirit Guides. How can Wendy open more to accept more blessings from the universe? Thanks, Masters and Spirit Guides. How can Wendy open up more to accept more blessings from the universe? Okay. Queen of Swords reversed. Two of Swords reversed. The Lovers reversed. Six of Wands and Four of Wands. Okay. It's kind of what okay, because I was saying this the other day. I realized I do this. Before I even turn the cards, I always kind of guess and kind of, establish, a conversation with spirit. Like, how is this, how do you want her to see this? What's the answer here? And my first thought was, you are open to blessings from the universe. Um, and the amount of blessings is monumental. It's abundant. The Six of Wands, Four of Wands. This is true harmony, true harmony, true unification, true victory, true wins. Um, but I am seeing a message of letting go of certain things in order to open up more. I'm really trying to look out for signs and hints. Yeah. Sorry, I'm like addicted to Gatorade. I don't know. I mean, it's better to be addicted to Gatorade than other things, but it's also a little embarrassing. Anyway, so what I'm getting this message with this Lover's Reverse card here of allowing things to, of allowing yourself to let go. But it's also about, making amends with certain things from the past, letting go of certain fears from the past, and not allowing those fears or disappointments to predicate your expectations for the future. Those aren't those aren't in tune with your future. Like, as I say to a lot of people, like, I can look at my life in one of two ways. Like, I can be like, oh, like, when I was younger, I thought I was gonna be married at this age. I thought I'd have this, that, and the other. And I'm not at I'm not at the same exact place that I thought I would see myself when I was like 8 years old. But I've done well. I've done well. And you know what? Like, just because something hasn't happened right now doesn't mean it's never going to happen. And in the past, I used to anticipate things like, oh, well, I would say things like, I only bring bad guys into my life, or all the jobs that I have, if I like them even if I like them at first, they always end up turning into shit, or and then I would they're self-fulfilling prophecies. And I'm not saying that you do those, but I think, actually, I don't think you do that, but I do think that maybe on a more subconscious level you might, and I think as humans we just do that, and it's and you have to really tap into your your subconscious, and stop yourself from having a certain those little thoughts that pop up. I've been so scared to get hurt again, or repeat myself. Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes you just, that's what the Fool card is all about, is knowing that when we go forward in life, it's good to be a realistic an optimistic realist. Know that you may end up getting hurt. You may. You'll doubtfully repeat a mistake, because if it was your mistake that you made, then like something that you did, then that's your free will to not repeat again. But if someone does something to you that does echo the past, which I don't think is going to happen, but it is a possible possibility that we all have to keep into consideration when we do venture into new realms, especially emotional realms, or like I said, like jobs. Doesn't have to just be emotional human relations, but it could also be jobs and things. It's funny to think that if I don't do something, I'll get hurt. If I do something, and try, I might get hurt. So exactly, that's what I tell people all the time. That's a brilliant way of putting it. I used to say it in a different way. I'm like, like there's a lot of people that'll come to me after a heartache and say, I'm done with love. And a lot of them are like 25. I'm like, okay, yeah, come back to me in like 1 to 2 years. I'm sure you'll be done with love then. No, you're not done with love. And you've never said that, but I've had people say things like that. And I tell them, what you're done with is you're done with being hurt. And I understand that. And you're wanting to protect yourself from getting hurt by not trying to love again. I understand that as well. But if you never ever love again, yeah, you do run that risk. You do run that risk of getting hurt. There's no way, like, and I as I get older, I learned that the hard way, but I also have to take it with more, with more grace and not as personally and not see it as a pattern. Because, there are, if I hadn't have tried, then I never would have known. And, it's, yeah, just it is what it is. And I think that's really true. It's like, don't credit, you're gonna, if you don't do anything, you won't get hurt, you know, but you'll also never know. But I like how you phrase it. If I don't do something, I'll get hurt. Yeah, you'll end up getting, or you won't get hurt by someone else, but you'll feel hurt on your own, or you'll feel like you deprived yourself of something possibly that you wanted. If you do something and try, it might get hurt. Yeah, exactly. And this Queen of Swords reversed, I think, is about that too. It's like the Queen of Swords reversed. I call her the bitter bee. She's the Queen of Swords reversed is bitter about the past, and you're not bitter about the past, but you're scared of the past repeating itself. Um, and Spirit is saying that you've got to turn this around. You've got to instead of fearing that people are going to present themselves in the way that they did in the past, and possibly manifesting that energy, don't even consider that. Just be confident in knowing that you are aware of the red flags now, in a way that you weren't in the past. I don't want to deprive myself. I want to be exactly. You don't want to deprive yourself of something that you would want. Absolutely. I hear you there. Absolutely. You just want to be open and feel it all. Absolutely. And I want to get some clarity on this Two of Swords reversed, real quick here. Oh my God, the Two of Swords reversed suggests the asker is to make a decision and is stuck between two options. You just explained those two options, girl. You just explained them. Like, yeah, you'll get hurt if you deprive yourself. You'll possibly get hurt if you don't deprive yourself. And Two of Swords reverse is also representative of anxiety and fears. With the moon here, the blindfold, it's like that which is unknown, that which is unseen. We fear that which is unseen, that which is unknown. That's just, normal human nature there. So it's really about, removing that blindfold and taking that leap of faith. And I'll throw in a pro bono card here, the Fool. I feel like the Fool upright should be right here. And it's like, that's how we turn things around from now. Is like, the Fool is actually a wise fellow. I remember way long ago when I was trying to learn tarot, like way back in the day, Sophie, someone told me that the Fool is actually a very wise man. And I never understood what they meant until I actually learned the tarot. And yeah, they were totally right. The Fool is a very wise fellow. That it takes a lot of wisdom and courage to know that, we have to take chances in life. Everything we take in life is a chance. There's a chance that we'll get hurt, and there's a chance that we'll find harmony and joy and love and laughter and victories. And I see more of the victories and harmony. I see much more of that on your horizon, Wendy. I can't promise you that nothing bad is ever going to happen to you, because that's just not the truth. Something bad happens to all of us all the time. It just as good things happen to us all the time. When I say bad, I don't mean something dangerous. I mean, like, some, maybe one day, I don't even want to say, but like, maybe like, there's traffic on the way to work or something like that. That's a bad thing, right? Those things aren't fun, and they're unpredictable. And they're just something that we have to go along with the tide here, along and just, try and remain as stable as possible among rocky waters. Yeah, and I understand setbacks and disappointments. Totally. You have a really good head on your shoulders, Wendy. You're a smart woman, and you know, I can tell that you grasp what I'm saying, and I'm not saying that I have just the right answer and I'm the only one with the right answer, but it does echo a lot of like readings I've been giving the past couple of weeks and just like conversations I've had with like people in my life too. Like yeah, there's always, you know, I'm for a while I became a real pessimist because being an optimist was constantly disappointing me. Well, I needed a happy medium there, you know, like I didn't want to be a complete realist because being a complete realist tends to end up being pessimistic. You know, it's good to have optimism because I do believe in energies attracting other energies, like attracts like, and the power of visualization and manifestation. And if you manifest and harness good energies and anticipate those, from my experience and from my observations, not 100% of the time, but a large, vast majority of the time, like people who think in a positive way tend to have quite positive uh, results in their lives. Weirdly enough, seeing how miserable Samuel is at work makes me want to try harder to find little joys in life. Yeah, let him, if he's going to choose to wallow here and be that way, which is so selfish, like as if you're not feeling stuff too. If he's choosing to wallow at this time and be that way, that's so that's really really selfish, and maybe he just has like serious mental health issues that he's not addressing, and because you know being depressed does make us inherently kind of selfish. It's something that we just focus on, and there's other things outside of us, you know. Um, and it sounds like he's not able to see that even the little joys in life. I doubt if he's even like laughing really like, you know, if he put on like his favorite show, he's probably just like the like nothing is gonna work for me. He's being a drama queen. He's being a drama queen, I think. And I'm not saying I'm disrespecting him or diminishing, excuse me, or um diminishing what he is experiencing, but he's really disappointed that he came from a better office environment to here. But yeah, he's being dramatic. How was his other office environment better than the one that you're currently than the one that y'all are currently in? That sounds so, like I don't know. It sounds like he was having a pretty damn good time like earlier on when he first got there. I think yeah, I think he's being way dramatic here. That's that three of swords that we pulled the first time we ever asked about him. Can you trust him? I do feel like you can trust him in a way. But yeah, that three of swords, I told you you'd be disappointed. They get treated way better in Germany. I'm not surprised. I mean, in Europe, everyone gets paid treated or it gets get paid better and they get treated better in the workplace. More time off, more PTO, and just overall better treatment. I think, especially in like yeah, like in Nordic countries. I know Germany's not a Nordic country, but like Nordic countries, he is an ally, so I'm getting along with him as a coworker. Okay, that's good, Wendy. That you guys are getting along. Yeah, and y'all need all the allies you can get at this time, am I right? He will stand up for me and defend me if someone tries to push me around. That's legit, girl. That's what's up. That's what's up. Someone standing in your and that's what I mean by we can trust him. He's not gonna throw you under the bus, um, in terms of work. He's not gonna do that. Yeah, he's standing up for you. That's legit. That's legit. And that's what yeah, I think that's what Spirit meant by like, yeah, implicitly you can trust him, like as a coworker. But he wants more and he's gonna be disappointed. It's like, yeah, we agreed that if I need him to be mean to someone for me, he'll do it. Aw, he'll be your muscle. That's sweet. That's a good guy. That's a decent dude to keep as a friend. He'll be the. That's so funny. I just said he's a good guy. You said he'll be the bad guy. That's funny. But he'll be the bad guy for you. You know, that's sweet. So yeah, he is like your guide said, and I said in the reading, we can trust him. But yeah, he's just a little bit of a drama queen. Um, but yeah, I'm glad you got him in your corner, girl. I really am. And I hope that that message brought you some clarity there. Yeah, that's definitely been like a theme, like for a lot of readings and conversations I've had this week. He's only been here for 3 weeks. Hope he'll chill out and stop being annoying. It's only been 3 weeks since Samuel got here. I feel like it's been longer than that. Only been 3 weeks. So yeah, maybe you're welcome, honey. So yeah, maybe he is like adjusting. I mean, that's always to be considered. Wow, it feels like it's been longer for real, but I guess that's that Sagittarius energy. Lisa be me, welcome. Yeah, he's adjusting. He's never lived. I don't think he's ever lived in the U.S. before. Am I right? So yeah, I bet even though he doesn't have like family, well, I'm sure he has like parents and stuff, but like even though he doesn't have kids or like a wife like back home, like there's homesickness too, missing Germany, missing Europe. Yeah. So there's a lot for him to adjust to, and who knows? Who knows what will come of this? I'm not trying to give false hope. It's just that, people do change all the time, and who knows where this could go, honestly. Yeah, he told me he's single. That's why he got sent here for long-term. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. That when I picked up that he was a loner in one of those readings, I totally believe that. I do. I do. I don't get player energy from him. Um, Ew, there was this one time, I forget who it was. It was on my channel and someone was like, "Oh, all Sagittariuses are players. All Sagittarius, all of them are." And there was one of my loyal clients in the room who was Sagittarius, and he was very like, as I would be a little bit too. I was like, I can't speak for this person. I'm like, and by the way, this person, like, please don't say that. Like, you don't know this person. Like, not everyone's one way because they're born under a certain sign, like, and people can also turn a new leaf and stuff. People change constantly. So yeah, I'm not gonna go that route. I'm not gonna say like, and I thought he was because he was Sagittarius. No, he's definitely one of. Yeah, right, right. Me too. Me too. And they're not all. Some of the Sages I've known are definitely totally Lisa. You're more than welcome, hun. And if you're new, thank you for your subscription. Yeah, hi Lisa, welcome. Yeah, no, like it's not, first of all, not everyone is defined by their sun sign. Second of all, there's good and bad in every sign. Third of all, now I'm thinking about like my Sag friends, I've definitely been friends with some Sages that while they may have had like, they were very flirtatious and had high sex drives, they weren't getting any. Like they weren't that suave, like I don't know how any way to describe it, but I'm thinking like three people right now off the top of my head who were all flirtatious. So they gave the impression that they were kind of like, you know, I don't want to say, there's so many mean terms for girls, and everyone for a guy who moves fast is good. It sucks, but yeah, women who were enjoying themselves with gentlemen, but they weren't at the end of the day. They weren't. Like now that I'm thinking, they were all, these are all like three girlfriends of mine. I remember being their wing woman like half the time, like having to teach them certain things about the birds and the bees. Like good lord, like uh, yeah, no, that what a horrible thing to like just like dump on all of one sign. Not like there's anything wrong with being that way as long as everyone's safe and happy and healthy and everyone communicates, but that's not what we find a lot of the time these days. So Sag friends are always dedicated to being good friends, and once they find someone they like, they're loyal. They are, but the problem with Sag folks is that I've noticed, and this isn't every Sagittarius again, but from my experience, they are very much people who, unless you're physically around them, like they might forget about you. Like I had a lot of Sag friends that moved away and just like completely forgot about me, even though we were like sisters. And like I did stay friends with one of them, but it's like all on me. Like every time I see her, she never comes up here, and when she does, I never hear her when she does. But when I go down to SoCal, I see her. Like, yeah, they're good at detaching, but they're also good at being the same person who you were friends with when you like were back in the day. Their core, they know what core aspects of that friendship are still there. We aren't around each other. Yeah. Yeah, they're good at attaching if we aren't around each other. Totally. Yeah. And I think I've also noticed that too with quite a few Virgos. Have you noticed, has anyone else noticed that? Again, we don't want to put people in boxes here, but I have noticed that it's like, yeah, but once you talk with them again, it's like you just pick up right where you left off. Yeah. Like even if it's been like 5, 10, 15 years. Virgos are also your soulmates. Aww. Sorry, give me one sec. Yeah, I wish I could say I got along better with Virgos, but that makes more sense for you, Wendy, as a Taurus, fellow Earth signs. Um, I get along really well with fellow air signs and fire signs. Um, I also really like as a fixed sign, I also really like fixed signs. Like I love Tauruses. You know, I love Scorpios, love Leos. Um, it's hard for me sometimes to be friend or not to be friends, but definitely to date other Aquariuses. Friends with an Aquarius, that you're asking for the best friend ever. They're gonna be loyal like a dog, and they won't forget about you. An Aquarius won't. Let's see, like this Sag, she had an Aquarius as a best friend. You know, I'm gonna follow you. You know, but I'm Aries rising, Jupiter, Venus. Oh, you got a lot of Aries in you. That's why you like those fire signs. My Aquarius friend is amazing at hosting and make everyone feel welcome. Yes. You're an Aquarius too, Lisa? High five, girl. Yes, fellow Aquarius club. Yeah, we love Aquarius. They're a vibe. We're a vibe. We're definitely a vibe. We're a whole ass vibe, unique in and of ourselves, which, you know, I guess most people are, but Aquariuses are a whole other level. You have a lot of fire in you. Yeah, yeah, for sure, girl, for sure. I think that's probably why I was confused about your sign for so long. I would always confuse your sign, even though I read for you all the time. Um, you're definitely a Taurus in that you're very hardworking and fastidious, very loyal, very dependable, very reliable. But in terms of like what I sense when I sense your energy, yeah, it's fiery. It's fiery. There's definitely a lot of fire in you. I'm all air. I'm Gemini moon, Libra rising. My Venus is in Aquarius. So I'm a little awkward. I'm a little awkward. I like getting dressed up. I like looking nice, which whenever I'd read about Aquarius, it'd be like, they don't care anything about looks. They don't care about looks. If they look nice, it's just because they ended up being that way. I'm like, that's funny because I love like makeup and stuff and doing hair. Yeah, Venus Aquarius is interesting, isn't it? I keep on talking about how not fun it is for me to date other Aquariuses. I don't know how to flirt. I'm awkward as hell. Like I wish I was a better flirt. I need to like learn some lessons. I need to watch some Marilyn Monroe movies or something because I'm bad. I'm not good. I I'm very, you know what? I'm just myself. I'm just myself, and I hope if you can enjoy me being silly and goofy goo, then you like Sophie. I feel like Aquarius must be more experimental with makeup or more quirky. We are, yeah, yeah. But that's that. I always think that's that Libra rising in me though, because Libra is already really like. Well, from what I've read and from what I've observed in my life, yes, Libras I would have to say are like, if we're gonna do like a poll, the most attractive people I know. I can't think of any Libras I know who are not like conventionally, at least conventionally attractive and like dressing nicely and like nice things, like to wear nice things, like nice makeup and stuff like that. Yes, they're ruled by they're not ruled by Venus, is it? No. I forget, but yeah, beauty is a big part of Libra. And until I learned that it was my rising, I was like, oh, because your rising is how you present yourself to people. It's like, that makes sense. Because I spend more time on my makeup than most Aquarius ladies, I think. Or dudes, for that matter. Um, yeah, I think, well, there's that drag queen Aquaria. She's Aquarius. Her makeup's crazy cool. It's the colors for you. Me too, Lisa. My favorite colors are purple, blue, and green. I love the colors of the ocean. I have no one favorite color. I think my Taurus sun really hides my Aries rising. Huh. I can feel it. I can feel it. But I haven't met you in person, but I would say energetically I can feel it. I will say also, as I get older, I used to have more fun with getting dressed up and doing makeup. I'm getting a little lazier now. Like yesterday, I don't think I wore any makeup. I'm like, whoa, this is not good. Um, Today I did browns and greens. I love green so much. I was a goth. Still kind of am. You can't really take the goth out of the girl. But when I was like deep in my goth days, I remember I started wearing color. When I started introducing color into my wardrobe, I'd been wearing only black for like 6, 7 years. And I was like, okay, we're gonna do this slowly and surely. But I started seeing other goths start incorporating like grays, dark purples, dark greens, dark reds. I started incorporating dark colors into my wardrobe, and it was great because I had all these black basics to go with all these new color things. I started wearing colors when I got to college. It's like I think I need to wear some now. Um, I also love silver very much. I love metallic silver. I had these silver pumps from the 70s that I wore to my friend's prom when I was 17. I had a silver and black lace dress, and I had purple hair at the time. God, I have to show you all that picture if I can find it. Oh my God, my friend sent it to me recently. Um, and I also had a matching purse. I had a matching 70s vintage silver clutch purse. I remember I'd go on eBay and just find this stuff for like, that purse I think was like $2. I want to say, I think I still have it too. The shoes I don't think I have anymore. Those were like maybe like $9. I used to get some like including shipping. Like I used to get some serious deals on eBay. I used to sell on eBay too, so I knew like what to search for and stuff. But I do love to look nice. Just like this little guy and his little tux. Isn't it so cute? Little cinema roll. Oh, this is what I got from the blind box. It's so cute. Um, and then my Gemini moon. Your moon is how is your rules your emotions and your communication. And here I am babbling away. Um, Wait, you're also Gemini moon. No way, girl. No way. Well, we can babble all day then. Yeah, no, that's definitely. I mean, Geminis are definitely loquacious people. I love Geminis for that reason. We can talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk some more. I've had so many Gemini friends, probably more Gemini friends than any other sign in my life. And we just talk all the day, live long day, and they're fun to communicate with, and lots going. Knight of Swords got a lot going on. I'm not goth, but nowadays I have a lot of black clothes since I lost my husband last year. I'm sorry, Lisa. I'm so sorry for your loss. Yeah. Oh no. So much love and light to you, Lisa. My goodness. Yeah, that was part of it. I mean, I started off as a goth, and then I started wearing some colors. That was it. And then I went back to all black again when I went through a loss. And I started following Victorian mourning rituals. Um, they would have certain rules for how long you'd wear black for and what items you'd wear. I lost my best friend, and she was my sister, really. Sister from another mister. And so I found this store in Hollywood, and I was going there anyway, and then I found out that she had been unalived, and I still went down there after her funeral, and I like directly got like Victorian mourning beads, like real ones. Oh no, you're okay, you're okay. Thank you though, thank you. Um, I got real Victorian mourning beads for sisters. I still have them. They never broke. One of the beads broke off, the main big bead, but I still keep it. I don't wear it that often anymore because I feel like I used to wear it almost every day. And like I said, these are, I could tell they were real. Like they were kind of falling apart. Um, Now they're really falling apart. And, but I still have jewelry, like our best friend's necklace and stuff. I kind of want to put, well, I don't want to change that in any way. I just need to find a better like chain for it. Um, yeah, no, jewelry, clothing and jewelry mean a lot, when we're grieving someone. Um, and yeah, no, you'll probably be in a place where you don't want to wear color, and I understand. Um, I totally understand that. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Um, some people just wear black because because they don't like their body, right? Like it's good at hiding, those little, hiding things we might not like on our body. Um, but yeah, no, it's black looks good too. Black looks good. Um, and it doesn't bring me down. Like some people will feel like, oh, I feel so down if I'm only wearing black. And I'm like, no, I guess maybe I just got used to it or something. But um, if I did feel like it was affecting my mood, I would probably try and implement a change. Right? Yeah, yeah. Like there's nothing appropriate about colors at this time. Like, it's like life turns into black and white, you know? Um, it's just a knee jerk. I think, the interesting thing too, Lisa, when you think about it, or if you've studied it, is that pretty much like across the board in like all cultures, except for, well, I know Indians, I believe, wear white, in certain like cultures and tribes or villages, not tribes, villages, Indian villages. Um, I believe they were white, but pretty much across the board, like even before people were communicating with each other or really knew of each other, like, yeah, people would mourn in black. Black was always associated with mourning. I know in like Japanese culture, it's definitely associated with mourning. Um, and I know that like deep and like beyond Victorian culture in European culture, or at least English culture, it goes, all the way back to medieval times, and we didn't even know what Japan or where Japan was in those times. So it's like two separate cultures, and that's just an example of two, but like two totally separate cultures that didn't know of one another, both, just human nature. It's just that human nature to be drawn to that. Yeah, and which is interesting. It has to be maybe it's a Hindu thing. Maybe it's something to do with Hindu. Um, I'm not quite sure. I just remember, I don't know if you ever saw that movie, the Darjeeling Limited. Really good movie with my boyfriend Adrian Brody, featured in it. But there's a scene, really sad scene, where a child is not saved, he gets drowned, and isn't that it's one of my favorite. I love Wes Anderson. My mom wanted to watch it on Monday. She was like, I kind of want to watch Star, but then I was like, something about it. I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to watch it. You should watch it. You should definitely see it. It's really good, if not just for the visual, like, landscape. It's really, like, I've never been to India. I'd love to go, and especially if the Darjeeling Limited actually did exist, I would love to go on that train, right, Wendy? Oh my gosh. Um, Love that movie. Love the music. Love everything. But yeah, there's a scene that I'll type it for you, honey. I will type it for you. There's this scene where, yeah, they're in India, traveling through India, and they stop at a village, right? And this child drowned. It's really effing sad. And yeah, weren't they all wearing white, Wendy? If I'm remembering correctly, everyone was wearing like white garments, and they like covered him in white linens, and like, and they had white flowers, I think, too, like strings of white flowers. Yeah, now I want to watch that movie again. I'm gonna watch it tonight. Um, Thank you. Now, yeah, I didn't know what I wanted to do tonight. Now I know. Or watch, I should say. Um, yeah, that was a really touching movie. Um, Love Wes Anderson. Although his last movie, Atomic, boring. It was just like so many stars, so many famous people, and that's like all it was. Like you don't even get to know any of the characters. I really don't recommend anyone go see Atomic. It's just like I feel like it was only made for like super Wes Anderson fans just to like, and it looks nice. Yeah, it's set in the Southwest, which I love. Um, but it's just like he just fit too many characters into it and you don't get to know any of them. I remember I saw it in the movie theater in Paris, and you can bring anything you want into the movie theater, including a little bottle of wine if you want. So I did, and I remember I had my wine, and I kept on getting, and I felt rude because I kept on getting my phone out to see what time it was because I knew how long the movie was. I was like, okay, so if I got here at this time, so the movie should end around this time. Like, should I go to the bathroom now or should I just leave early? Like, I was antsy as hell. I was like, I could leave this movie right now. Like, it's, and I haven't felt that way in a long time about any movie. Like, I normally find something good about some movie, but I was just like, I'm not feeling this. Like, also, going to the movies in France is way cheap. Tickets are like €6 or something stupid. Like you can bring your own food, they don't care. You can bring booze, they don't care. They just want you to see a movie. I wonder if the white shirt keeps them from mourning too long or too much. I'm just curious now at this point. The white clothes. I mean, I honestly, I'm gonna ask my best friend. She's Indian. She'll know the answer. Um, she's not Hindu. Her family's Catholic, but I do think I'm gonna put my money on it has to do with their religion because I do know that white is worn to funerals, symbolizing purity, peace, and the soul's journey to the afterlife, or representing the paleness of death or spiritual rebirth. And that's in India specifically. Because I was just thinking of like I grew up. There was a big Sufi community in the city I grew up in, and they're basically like, you know how I studied the Kabbalah? Sufi is basically the Kabbalah for Muslims, which is really putting in a small like box. But they wear white. They only wear white. Their houses are all white. And my friend would never tell me why. I'd be like, "Why do you have this picture of this old man around your house, and why is everything white?" She's like, that's my grandpa. He was a prime minister to Lebanon." She told me the truth when she was 15. She's like, "My parents are in a cult, dude. Like, they only wear white. Like, yeah." And they told me to tell you that when I was younger, and now I'm just like, and also other cultures. Yeah. So also, I think, well, I don't know about Muslim funerals. That they might wear white, possibly. Although they wear a lot of black, at least like full hijabs are black and stuff. Yeah, yeah. No, my best friend was in a cult. They weren't really a cult. Sufis are not really a cult. Sufis are Islamic mysticists. But was their community culty? Yeah, yeah. No, all their kids went to the same private school, and they learned all the teaching of Meher Baba. They also learned, all the other curriculum, and like amazingly, I remember all the kids that went to that private school and went to our middle school were like so much smarter than us. They knew like 3 languages. Like they were ahead of us like by a lot. But they were also taught all the teachings of Sufism, which is totally fine. It's just like going to Christian school or Catholic school or Hebrew school, whatever. I just remembered I have another question of when yeah, for sure, girl. No problemo. No problemo. Um, yeah, it wasn't really a cult, but there's the way that, yeah, Sufism is not a cult, but it's more like the way this community acted and the way that the families acted. Like telling your kids to say, like, oh, just say that it's your grandpa or say it's your uncle or whatever. It's just like, okay, you must really like your uncle a lot. No tea, no shade. But I just remember thinking, I smelled bullshit when I was like 12, 13. I'm just like, really? Like, so then of course I asked her mom, and her mom was like, "Oh yeah, yeah," because she was half Lebanese. She was like, "Yeah, he was the cultural attaché or something to Lebanon and the U.S." Lies, lie. Yeah. Well, they were afraid. I mean, I get it. Like, and they weren't doing anything weird. They didn't do like spells or any harm. It's a very, actually, I kind of like what Sufism teaches and professes. I mean, yeah, I like, you know, the esoteric of most things, but I kind of dig Sufism. Um, they didn't have to. They didn't have to tell their kids that, you know. Yes, please do, Miss Lisa. Thank you so much for being here, and you have a wonderful rest of your night. Thank you. Yeah, it was like, their parents didn't have to tell their kids that. Like, the kids could have been like, hey, yeah, we're part of this religion, you know? Not like, let's have them lie about it. That makes it seem so much more like suspicious as fuck. You know what I mean? Thank you so much, Wendy. Thank you, honey, for your donation. Please go ahead and post your question right there in the chat. Thank you. Did you want me to simply ask how Christian is feeling about you, or did you want me to do the TFI spread? And what's Christian's sign? Is he a Sagittarius too? Isn't he a Sagittarius? Sag. Okay. Just wait. Did you want me to just ask his feelings, or did you want me to do thoughts, feelings, and intentions? I think thoughts, feelings, and intentions, to be honest, because it answers. I mean, on one hand, we don't get as deep with his feelings, but we get more of the big picture. You know, what he's thinking, what he intends in the future. So I think we should go with that. And if we get something really like questionable with his feelings, we'll just see what happens there. But I think this will. Something tells me this will be good. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Christian's thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Wendy at this time? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Christian's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Wendy at this time? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Christian's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Wendy at this time? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Christian's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Wendy at this time? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Christian's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Wendy at this time? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Christian's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Wendy at this time? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Christian's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Wendy at this time? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Christian's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Wendy at this time? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Christian's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Wendy at this time? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Christian's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Wendy at this time? Okay. We have Two of Wands reversed. The Sun reversed. Queen of Swords reversed. Three of Swords. And Six of Pentacles. Did you say that Christian's cool towards you now? He's still got feelings for you, but we'll get to his feelings in a moment. Let's start with your general energies. We have the Two of Wands reversed. You're not quite sure, and I'm not just saying this, he went back to being silent. I was just going to say, I'm not just saying this because you came to me and asked, but you don't know what to make of him at all right now. And like you just said, he went silent, so there you go, bing, bang, boom. That's why you're left in the dark here, and you're not able to see, you know, into any foreseeable future what this guy, or not the foreseeable future, the present, why he's being the way he is, and why he became the way, well, maybe we know why he became the way he is. His general feelings towards you, we have the Six of Pentacles. He still has feelings for you. And he wants to share with you. When I say share, I mean like share he would ideally like to share his energies, his emotions, his time with you. But I think he heard or saw you and Samuel's flirtations, and even though those have come to a stop, I still feel like he still wants you, but he goes back, he flips back and forth between, yeah, wanting you, but really unable to move on from the past. Remember, we got this card in your last reading too. Yeah. Okay. So things haven't completely come to a close there. Like you said, he's an ally. He may not be flirting anymore necessarily the way he used to, but he's still there, still sharing his time with you and energies. And remember, we had this card in your reading last time, and I said it's about being bitter about the past. Well, those are his feelings. He's upset about the past and how things went. Um, and it's not bitter towards you. It's more about like how everything just ended up being. And but I also do feel like he feels like, why him and not me? What does she possibly see in him that I don't have? Um, his thoughts, we have the sun reversed. He thinks that you don't think of him. He thinks that maybe you think of him in passing. You do see him at work. So of course he, splashes onto your mind occasionally when you do see him, and maybe it's more than that, but he thinks that you just like, when you see him, you don't give it a passing thought. I'm sure you're nice to him, possibly. You said he went silent. That tells me that you tried to say hello, and now he's just like silent guy. Um, and he's, you know, it's kind of making him feel, I feel bad about what happened, but it's kind of awkward when he's around. Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, why do you feel bad about what happened? It's not like you did anything mean to him. Like, and yeah, he acts awkwardly when you're around because he's really disappointed by how things ended up with this Three of Swords. But I mean, this card also showed up when we first asked about Samuel too. It looks like these guys are just like dooming themselves for heartache, and maybe that's something that they're anticipating too. Who knows? Maybe they just tell themselves like, "Oh, girls never want me, and they always choose another guy." Blah blah blah. This is how I feel he's feeling right now. And it's just not the case. It has been the case sometimes in his life. We've all been through that, where you like someone and they pick someone else. And maybe they didn't even necessarily pick another person, but we see it as that, possibly, um, when we're rejected. And that's really the energy I'm getting here, is like, it's not your fault, so don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. He was the one that acted weird. Like, no. And I don't remember ever getting the green light on whether we could trust Christian, you know. Um, it's not about another guy, it's the way he treated me. Yeah. Yeah, and he's turning it into something. He's not looking at the actual, like, I think he does look at the fact that, yeah, he shouldn't have treated you like that, but I think he's focusing more on the fact that there's another he thinks there's another guy in your life, and he feels like, why couldn't it have been me? Why me, and why some other guy and not me? Um, and yeah, like you said, it was the way he treated. You gave him a chance. You gave him a total fair chance, and an opportunity, and he screwed it up. And I mean, I don't want to say that's what he should be focusing more on, because that's just going to hurt him, but it might help him learn a little bit. He needs to have, a mirror put up to him, in terms of his behavior and his actions, and how, yeah, like those can definitely have their consequences when you make certain choices to act certain ways. Um, Very immature. He should just take accountability and move, right? I mean, and that's easier said than done for this guy. I mean, he's not mature at all. We've known this from the get-go. He's just not a mature guy. Um, yeah, I wish he could just take accountability, recognize accountability, and move the F on here. Um, but he's deflecting. He's just like, he's turning this into, well, why wasn't it me? Nice guys finish last, blah, 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 blah. It's just like, bruh, no, it's not so much that. It's more you acted like an idiot, and these are the repercussions of your actions. Um, yeah. I wish he would take accountability. I so wish he would and just move the F on here. And because he's in this like weird limbo where he wants you, but he also feels completely defeated and hopeless. Like he can't have you. Yeah, but I have to friends and all of them now, right? Like I don't know. I don't think that place is a good place. Like it's tempting, to want to date coworkers. Like totally, I totally get it. We're around them all the time, and feelings are going to maybe develop there. But at the end of the day, like, even if you give them a chance and say it doesn't work out, then yeah, you've got to friend zone them, and or say it does work out, then you work with them all the time, and maybe that might, put some insert some difficulties into the connection. I've never actually dated a coworker. Yeah, all you wanted was a fun fling. I understand that, love. Yeah, totally. And it's funny because isn't that what guys are usually looking for? And all these guys wanted more when you wanted something just fun and frivolous and fancy free. Yeah, people seem to want what they can't have, it seems. I'm not saying, not talking about you. I'm talking about like these coworkers. I've only dated coworkers if I knew that one of us will leave. Yeah, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, if you know someone's about to be out the door, or if you know that you're about to be out the door, then I don't see anything wrong with that. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. That actually makes sense. I've definitely had crushes on people I've worked with. That I cannot lie about. In fact, I had a crush on someone I used to work with when I worked at Barnes and Noble in high school. And then one of my friends slash coworkers, I didn't even know she liked him. She knew I liked him. She swooped in and like stole him. I'm like, cool. Would have been fun. Yep, I just wanted to enjoy it while it lasts. Would have been fun with Samuel, but oh well. Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't meant to be then, if and then who knows how things are going to, pan out from here. You were a former book slave too? Oh my God, girl. When did you work there? Because there's not that many anymore. I worked there my last 2 years of high school and my first 2 years of college. I I want to say I loved it because I did. I did. I at the time, if you would have asked me then, I would have been like, I freaking hate it. But I loved it. I had so many friends there, and we'd throw parties and stuff. It was fun. Okay, so yeah, I was from like 2004, no, 2002 to 2006. Okay, yeah, 2000s girl, yeah. No, I loved, looking back, like the discount was legit. Um, the employee discount, I definitely amassed a huge amount of books, um, which I tend to do anyway. Yeah, friends, good stuff. It was fun, right? Yeah. So I had a crush on one of the guys who worked in backstock, and I was convinced he liked me. I think he did. He was a little older than me. I was 18 or 19, and he was like 25. So I think it was like a little jailbaity. I think he didn't want to get involved there. But yeah, my coworker slash friend she knew I liked him. She never even told me she liked him. I just saw them holding hands one day. I'm like, oh, you guys are dating. Didn't know that. She was trying to hide it from me. I'm like, oh my God, you Mormons are crazy. She was Mormon, and she was like really like, she tried to seem virginal, but she wasn't. I'm glad he didn't do anything with you. Yeah, me too. Looking back at it, like it would have been legal, but like, yeah, exactly. Oh no. Yeah, no, they were about the same age. I think they were both 25. So it made more sense, I guess, but they had like nothing in common. We would talk about music all the live long day. Like, I'm a huge music nerd. He was a huge music nerd. she knew nothing about like music or anything. Like I don't know what, I don't really know. When I would see them hang out, like it looked like it was just like they never laughed. Didn't look like they were having fun. Looked like she's kind of like cooked for him and like brought him food all the time. I'm just like, oh dear lord. Um, yeah, it was almost like he got hoodwinked into being her girlfriend. I remember I was so pissed. I guess attraction, I want to say. I had no idea she was attracted to him, and I had no idea she was attracted to her, or he was attracted to her. I never saw them flirting or anything. Like, it was so bizarre. It was just like, I never saw that coming, but they didn't last very long either. I almost wonder if she was doing it to spite me. I don't think so. Back in the day, of course, as like a young person, I did. But yeah, I'm glad it didn't happen in the long run. Um, Definitely not someone who I would date nowadays, but yeah. Um, and if I had dated this guy, then and say things didn't work out, then I would have had to like see him all the time, and it would have been super ox, super awky. But that was the only time I've ever had a crush on someone at my work. I definitely crushed on some of the attorneys I worked for when I was in college, but I knew that was like, you know, like having a crush on like, a movie star. They were like they're like 20, 30, 40 years older than me. I'm not gonna like, and they're all married and shit. I wasn't gonna like wreck a home. And I didn't even flirt with them or anything. I don't know how to flirt. I don't know how to flirt. I really don't. Like I said, I'm a goofy goober, and I guess that's what I got. That's what I got going for me, is the goofy goober. People don't think it's that funny, then it don't work. Yeah, God, yeah, how long? I wasn't crushing on him for too long. I'm trying to think of other instances that were kind of like that, where like I liked someone and then like all of a sudden like my friend started dating them or something. It's like, whoa, didn't know you didn't like this person, but you knew I did. Oh, I don't know if I showed you, Wendy, this little Twin Stars tarot deck that I got. So cute. It's like the cutest deck ever. I don't know if anyone's done a YouTube unboxing of this particular deck. If I haven't even looked, I should check. If they haven't, then I should do it. Someone did it already 4 months ago. Damn it. There's only one, though. I haven't thought about that. So, the donation queue is currently open, y'all. If you have a question, I would love to read for you tonight. Yes, donation queue is currently open. Thank you so much. Oh yes, I forgot to do my spiel earlier. So yes, I am also a psychic medium. I can contact those who have passed on. If that is something that you would be interested in, the type of reading that you would be interested in getting, please let me know beforehand. Because I found through my practice that I cannot communicate with absolutely everybody who has passed away. But so if you can just give me just a minute or so before commencing with your reading, or donating even for your reading, just to check, I would really appreciate that. But that is definitely a service that I offer. I also have refined my past life regression readings. I've been giving those professionally almost since the beginning of my channel. I want to say about 3 years ago. And I have definitely refined it, improved it. That was something I was working on back in December. Those are incredibly fascinating. If that is something that you are interested in discovering more about, please let me know. I also offer soulmate confirmation readings. I do not believe in twin flames, but I do absolutely believe in soulmates, and I know from what I've been told that our spirit guides want us to ultimately be united with somebody in love, if that is something that we truly desire. Um, and if your spirit guides and your angels' opinion means something to you, they'll definitely give you their blessing or not with the person that you're interested in or curious about or even currently with. Um, and they will also let you know if they are indeed one of your soulmates. And there was one, actually, I gave one past life reading and it ended up turning into a combo. I was reading for a client of mine, for your woman in this life, and you had a husband who was really treated you really, really right, stood through you, stood by you through thick and thin, and like right at the same time I said it and she typed in like, I really feel like this is your current hubby. I think we've got a little soulmate reading here as well. We found someone in your current life who you definitely had another life with. I also offer private readings. I offer two different types of readings. I obviously offer one-on-one readings over Zoom. Those are by appointment only. Let me know if you are interested in scheduling one of those. And I also do them at no additional donation amount. If you're looking just for discretion or if I'm not live, I always have a deck of cards with me. If I don't go live for a couple of days or something, or you miss my lives and you have a question that you need me to answer, just send a donation my way, and I'll get back to you at the latest in 24 hours, but I can usually do it with pretty quick turnaround. And I do those over DMs. I do audio readings or audio messages over DMs. Or I can type them over email. And I also offer a comprehensive reading. I call it my OG love reading, but it doesn't have to be about someone who you're in love with or wants love with. It can also be done for, I've done this, it's the thoughts, feelings, and intentions spread. I've done this many times. I've done it for people's coworkers. I've done it for people's animals. I've done it for friends of people. It can be done really for anyone who you just have, you just feel warmth and love towards in your life. So that is my spiel. And again, everybody, if you would like a reading, the donation queue is currently wide open. So whoever makes a donation next will be next. And if you are watching this live stream, please be a buddy and remember to click the like button. It really helps me out. Thank you. Thank you so much for your donation, SB. Thank you so very much, love. I hope you're doing well. How does B the Taurus truly feel about me? All right, S, are you there? Hello. I hope you are well today, hon. So you want to know how B the Taurus feels about you. Do you want me to just ask how B feels about you, or do you want me to do the thoughts, feelings, and intentions spread? Just his feelings. You got it. And what's your sign again? Angels, masters, and spirit guides, what are these current feelings towards us? Angels, masters, and spirit guides, what are these current feelings towards us? Angels, masters, and spirit guides, what are these excuse me, current feelings towards us? Virgo, that's right. Angels, masters, and spirit guides, what are these current feelings towards us? Angels, masters, and spirit guides, what are these feelings towards us at this time? Angels, masters, and spirit guides, what are these feelings towards us at this time? Angels, masters, and spirit guides, what are these feelings towards us at this time? Angels, masters, and spirit guides, what are these feelings towards us at this time? Angels, masters, and spirit guides, what are these feelings towards us at this time? Angels, masters, and spirit guides, what are these feelings towards us at this time? Nine of Swords reversed, Three of Wands reversed, Four of Swords reversed, Four of Pentacles, and Five of Pentacles reversed. Is this okay? I'm sorry, I don't remember your history with B, but is this someone that you used to date? Is this someone who you have who you used to be with? Someone from your past? Because the energy that I'm getting is someone who's trying to let go, who's doing their best to let go. Where at one point the idea of you, yeah, I used to date long ago. We talk now almost daily. Okay. Um, he still holds you dear with this Four of Pentacles, but in terms of this going back to what it was, I feel like he's trying to walk away from the past. And if he really wanted to walk away that much, I would argue, why is he talking to you daily? But that's just the part where I feel like he can't let go of you, with this Four of Pentacles. But when you guys were together romantically, there were issues, there were worries, um, I'm sure with both sides, with this Nine of Swords reversed, and now that you guys are like non-romantic friends, he's able to keep a clearer head. I don't know if he's dating anyone at this time, and I don't know how long ago the two of you um, stopped dating. I will note here that I'm not seeing any cups. Yeah, not sure. He approached me not long ago apologizing for everything. I know he's divorcing now. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Um, yeah, in terms of like seeing like a future with you, he's not both Three of Wands reverse, yeah, and Four of Swords reverse. That's something he's not like really thinking of right now. We help each other. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that you guys shouldn't talk to each other, and Spirit doesn't think that either. But in terms of how what his feelings are towards you, this is just what I'm seeing is he definitely values you as a friend. Very much, very much. I don't think he has space in his life right now for something romantic, and maybe you don't either. Um, you said he's going through a divorce. That's a lot. That's a lot to process, you know. And I feel like that's this Five of Pentacles reversed energy. Is he's definitely he's there's no cups here. I'm not seeing any love cards here. I don't feel like there's love towards the ex, but I also don't feel like I feel like there's love towards you in a very genuine way, but in a very platonic way at this time. Like he does need a friend. He very very much does, and that's part of what he still treasures about the two of you dating in the past. And it doesn't mean that he's never going to want something romantic. If he's flirting with you, that would be really like problematic for me to hear because I just feel like he definitely needs some space to heal for sure. That's this Five of Pentacles reverse card is a big healing card, but it also is a symbolize, like you said, you guys help each other. It's also a symbol of the two of you helping one another heal. You helping him heal, him helping you heal from certain things. You guys do mutually help one another. I mean, I haven't seen him in like 8 years. Okay, so it's been a while, girl. Yeah, it's been a while, and both of you have changed in major ways. Um, yeah, no. Does Spirit feel like there's no like there you shouldn't be friends with this person? Not at all. I don't get that, and you didn't ask that, but that's not what I'm getting from them. They you know definitely you know I definitely value friendships from people I used to date in the past. Um, you know, and you know sometimes passions can be reignited. I just think at this time he's really not in that place. Like literally he's in the snow right now. Like he's not in a place for passions to be reignited. So if he is like being super flirty, I say like tisk to that because that's not where I see him right now. Right now I see him like really focusing on like you see him next month. Okay, legit, legit. Do you guys live near each other or far away or what? On my trip you'll see. Okay, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. And you know, a month is a long time for you know things to happen, things to be said, things to transpire between the two of you between now and then. I think what's really important to focus on here, though, is to not you know it's good to have to be optimistic about things. And it's good to have crushes on people. I don't know if you have a crush on him, but I feel like he might. There's still a little like flame still there. Um, and that's great, but it's good to take things slowly, especially if someone's coming out of a divorce, a very far east and west. Oh, okay, so it's like a trip. Yeah, it's he's really Spirit is just saying he really needs some time and space to heal, um, and jumping into another romantic connection would probably not serve either of you. Um, so you know, be careful there with your emotions and you know, I can tell you that he definitely values your friendship and cares about you a lot. That I can't deny. And that's definitely something worth, you know, holding on to dearly and you know, something to be grateful for sure. And if it ends up being something more, all the better. I just think that some time needs to pass, you know, because time heals all boo boos, you know, and even if he's happy to be divorced, it's still a whole ass life, you know, when someone even if it's a brief marriage, when you have to go through and to go through all those proceedings, it's a whole lot, and it's draining, and he really needs someone to talk to and be there for him right now, and you're really wonderful to him, and I just hope he's as wonderful to you as you are to him, because I know you're there for him, and you are in a, like you are a part of his healing is what spirit is saying, and I rarely hear that, actually. I rarely hear that from spirit. They usually say, oh, you gotta heal on your own, you gotta heal on his own, but they're saying that he can really use someone, and but in turn have it be reciprocal, and it sounds like it is. I hope it is. I pray that it is. Thank you so much. Yes, I really appreciate you as always, and I hope I brought you some clarity to that situation. Yeah. For some reason, when I started reading just now, my right ear started like burning. I don't know what's going on there. Don't know what that means. But I don't know. Yeah, y'all, the donation queue is currently open, so the next person to make a donation will be next. Thank you so much. Oh goodness. Okay, so I've been on for close to 2 hours and 5 minutes. I have been on for 2 hours, so I'll be doing a last call for any and all donations tonight in just a moment. Okay, so I'm going to do a last call for any and all donations tonight. If you have a question that you need to have answered this evening, I would love to do that for you. Otherwise, Yeah, otherwise don't. But if you do have a question that you need to have answered, I am here for you. If you happen to catch this video after the fact and you do need a reading, though, I do offer private readings. Like I've mentioned in the past, I can do them at no additional cost over Instagram DMs, via audio message, or typed over email. I also offer one-on-one Zoom meetings that can go as long as you would like them to. We ask as many questions as you need, and we just get to the bottom of things. But yeah, last call, everybody, for any and all donations tonight. Thank you. Last call. If you have a question tonight, now would be your time to let me know that you would like to have it answered. Last call tonight. Any and all donations. Thank you so much. Last call tonight. Any and all donations, let me know if you need a reading tonight and I can help you out. If you would prefer I do it offline, we can always do that as well. Just let me know in your comment. Thank you. Last call, everybody. Any and all donations tonight. Thank you. Last call, everybody, for any and all donations tonight. Thank you so very much. All right, it looks like everyone is satiated tonight. Well, thank you so much for a wonderful, wonderful evening, and I will likely see you all again tomorrow evening.